Right, so we're back at Larford Lakes for another feeder only competition. Again, it's another practice match for me with the upcoming Golden Rod final, and it's a little bit of deja vu because last time I came on the last practice match I drew about 2 pegs that way, so it's not a lot's changed. The weather's changed a bit. It's been freezing cold all week compared to that red hot weather we had last time. Considering it's supposed to be getting warmer, it's actually gone the other way. So quite a bit of ripple on the lake as well, completely different conditions, so we're going to see how we get on. Right, so as I said, we're at Larford Lakes today, and I'm actually on peg 13 on the Specie, so the Specie Lake. It's a feeder only match, the match is just about to start. Now last time I sort of attacked the peg first off, and I'm not going to do it that this time because it basically didn't work, putting some bait in at 20 metres, and there was fish swimming around all on the top because it was red hot.
So unfortunately my mic's cut out, so there's no audio on the next few clips. However, I needed to keep these in the video as it has a huge impact on how I fished the match today. Firstly, I talk about watching the water. This is so important this time of year to keep a lookout on venues like this for any signs of carp. And as it happens, I seen one roll around 30 to 35 metres, literally about 5 minutes before the match started. So quickly grabbed my rod, clipped up exactly where it was, which on my distance sticks measured out at 34 metres. So now I have my starting point, somewhere to chuck to at the start of the match and hopefully get a bite straight away. So I've chucked out to 34 metres where I seen that fish show. It didn't take too long, and after 12 minutes the rod's gone round and I've got my first fish on. Tactics wise, it's pretty much all method feeder fishing at Larford. So started on like a medium sized method hybrid, Fishery micro pellets, soaked in some Dynamite Baits Tigernut glug, and hook baits. Kept it nice and simple with 7mm Dynamite Baits. They're one of the new hybrid wowsers, which is in the white and the red version. I love white hook baits and red hook baits, so it works really well for me, and fish seem to like them as well. First fish is a decent Larford common, about 8 to 10 pounds at most, really. Not the biggest one in there, but definitely welcome. So ready for the next chuck, get straight back on the distance sticks, clip up to 34 metres and back out on the same spot. For me, this really reiterates why you need to look for showing fish at the start of the match. The rod's been in 12 minutes, it's gone round, got a fish. Now, the chances are there's going to be a lot more in this area. They're all starting to wake up this time of year now as we come into spring, but they're not moving out of the shoals too much. So if you can find that fish showing, chances are you're going to find some more. Right, so the next cast has gone out, exactly the same spot, 34 metres, and I'm just sinking the line, and then I go to turn around and say, right, I'll leave that for another 12-15 minutes, and the rod literally wraps straight round. I can't believe it's gone round that quickly again. I'm actually thinking maybe I foul hooked this fish or something like that, because I didn't expect it to get a bite so fast, but I actually end up playing this carp for about 20 minutes, and I'm thinking this is definitely foul hooked, but in a second you'll see why it took so long to get it in. Now, as the bite was so quick on this fish, I just assumed that I'd maybe foul hooked it or something like that, because it took me about 25 minutes to get it in. But as you can see, this is why it took 25 minutes to get in. It's an absolutely huge Specie ghost carp of all fish. I don't think I've ever caught a ghostie out that late before. But yeah, I couldn't do anything with it. It was like just trying to pull like a big rock in or something. But yeah, eventually, when it popped up, I can see why. And yeah, very happy with that. Put me right up there on the lake. Okay, so After 2 hours now of chucking into this same spot at 34 metres, I haven't had another sign, so I've decided to put some bait in. Being that that's the line that I've caught on at 34 metres, I'm going to use that as my feeding line basically. And I'm going to do a little bit different this time, and I've soaked up some Fishery 4 mils. I'm going to put in 2 or 3 big cages of that, just so there's something there, and then I'm going to have a go longer, because there's a few people around the lake who've caught some fish around like 50 metres. So I'm going to chuck out to 50 metres after this, after putting some bait in, and see if I can get a bite.
Right, that first cast long, I don't know what happened. The rod sort of went round and nothing was there. I had a couple of liners leading up to it as well. So there's definitely fish there. I've chucked out again long just now, so I'm going to give that another 10 minutes. See if it was something that was out there near the feeder that moved it, or perhaps it's a lot closer. So I did see those fish like about 20 metres out roll. So, but also I fed that bait at 34 metres, so I've got that to drop on. So I don't want to chuck in too many places. So if I can just have the 2 lines long and at 30 odd, try and keep it as simple as possible. So we'll give this 10 minutes, see if I can get another pull round. I think there's been one other carp caught further down. That's the same guy, he's got 4 fish now, so he's definitely leading the section. Definitely feel like there's more carp that way. Not many been caught on my right. Hopefully this goes around. So I'm still on my second cast long, and without a doubt I'm getting liners, so I don't think they're out there. I think they are closer. That's why I caught originally like 15 metres closer than that on the 34 metre line. So I'm not going to give this one too much longer. I'm going to drop on that line where I put some bait in, and then after that feed something short in the edges, I think. Because yeah, definitely I'm past the fish now. If I've had a few liners. I had that dodgy bite on the last cast, which must have been just a liner. Because they're not always going to be right out in the middle, especially when you're chucking from both banks. Like, they're going to be sat somewhere else, so they obviously are sat a bit closer, I think. Hopefully we can get another pull round. Right, I'm going to chuck back out over that bait that I put in. Typical though, the wind just gets up. That's alright though. This would be lovely if this goes around now. That's where they originally show themselves at the start. Just haven't been able to nick one. Did stick with it for quite a while. Just over 2.5 hours in. So still those first 2 fish. I think 4 fish I've seen is best. A couple of the MPEGs have started catching now. Up the chalet end over there, and then on our bank on that end as well. Plus there's odd fish to go, and then the bloke on his right had one, and on his right. So they are having a go. I can't believe I've managed to avoid them for the last 2 hours. Perhaps I'm not leaving the cast for long enough. Oh, it's really gotten cold now though. And that wind's picked up a bit. Real bitter wind that is. Not very pleasant. I say there are still odd fish coming out though, so it's not affecting them too much. So I just can't seem to find one. Oh, perfect. So that's gone over the top of that bait, and that took a lot longer to go round. I left that cast probably 20 minutes. And that might just be the case. Perhaps I was not leaving it long enough. This feels like a big fish again. So yeah, that might have been it. Or maybe I've just not been leaving the casts long enough because I got a bit giddy with that cast that went round as I was sinking the line. Might just be a case of having to leave them for 20 minutes. Ever so strange. You get days when the bite times don't add up. This feels huge. I'm glad I've caught that over some bait though, that's quite interesting. Come on, it's so hard to bring these big fish in quickly when they're so far out there. Just pulling these big sacks basically. Big hippos. Looking alright, it's just hooked carp as well. Perhaps having a bit of a chew. Totally different line though, he's caught that long, and I've caught that on the 30-metre line. A bit closer now, I think. Oh, that was very nice. Bumped off his dorsal then. It's a unit with a pinnack. Absolute unit. A proper specie unit, that. Big old common. starting to tick over now. Now I've caught one over that bait. That's made me a bit confident anyway. Sort him out in that net. There you go. Now I'm going to get this clip back up and chuck back out to that 30-metre line. That's back out. Gonna leave this one a bit longer. I'm gonna leave this one 20 minutes. That might be my downfall today. Just say get too giddy on the that second bite that went round instantly. I've not been leaving it long enough. Yeah, that last cast was definitely in about 20 minutes. Just had a phone call halfway through it. What's odd though is that anyone who's actually catching on the lake are catching long, but I can't seem to catch long. So I did have liners when I've gone long, so perhaps they're just not long in front of me. But once this has had a 20-minute cast, because we're at, what we got, just under 2 hours left of the match. So I want to start feeding my edge with an hour and a half to go. Plan for that is ground bait, lots of ground bait this time. If anything, I learnt last time you couldn't put enough in. And then just some dead maggots, maybe some casters. Let's see how this goes. Right, I'm still on that second cast short. It's been in 9 minutes. I've got another 11 minutes left of the cast because I was going to leave it for 20. And I still am, I think. But I just had a liner on it, which shows you even on that like 30-metre line, getting an odd liner. So like, where are these fish? Like, how close are they? Like, are they definitely going to come short? Like, I'm also wondering, like, do I just plop a little method, like at 20 metres, just to see if there's anything there? Might get a quick response off it. I'll see what happens after this cast anyway. It means that I fed it before I had this bite. Might need to feed it again, sort of send them down. But we've still got the edges and that to feed. Don't want to get too carried away. But it means that most of the action has been between 30 odd metres back to me. I think I'm going to probably sack off the long line, as it hasn't produced anything, so I doubt I'll be chucking there again. We've only got an hour and 40 left anyway. It's more like trying to make the most. Well, last time when I was here I learned making the most of the last hour in the edge. That was the main thing. So give this 10 minutes and feed the edges. Right, this cast has been in 20 minutes now. Sadly it's not gone round. I've definitely had indications on it. I 100% had a couple of liners. So that sort of throws some ideas into your head of whether you could maybe drop it shorter or something like that. But I think what I'm going to do is, being that I caught on that line over some bait, I'm going to put some bait back out. I'm going to feed the edges at the same time, and I'm going to go from there. I think the last time I had a carp in the edge with an hour to go, so feeding it half an hour before should be perfect. So I'm going to bring this in and get them edges fed. Right, that is, the edge is all fed. Now, let's chuck this back out. On that 30-metre line. Until I can see something in the edge. They normally give themselves away because they're so big. Yeah, give this 15 minutes, maybe longer, maybe 20, unless I can see something come in sooner, or see anyone else catching the edge. It took ages to feed those edges. I did both sides and a little bit short as well. Basically fed a mixture of dead maggots, a few casters, ground bait, and I've also gone for a few worms in the left edge just to see the difference. But loads of ground bait. That was the main thing last time, is figured like you could put more loads of ground bait in. So we'll see if that works this time. That's annoying. Drop back, nothing there. Oh, it could have been that grebe. No signs on that long line yet, well, that 30-metre line, so I'm going to drop this short. There's a few fish coming out short looking down the lake. The one on the left just had one. I think Trev's just had one as well. Probably only gave that other cast like 8 minutes, but bait will still be out there for another chub, but I just want to have a go quick go short. Give it 10 minutes short. It's a big fish that Brian's just had next to me. That time of day now. This is all about the last hour, making the most of it. On that short line I've just fed 4 mils, some micros, a little bit of ground bait. I didn't put too much there, just 2 feeders I think I did. I'll keep an eye on these edges, see if they're clouding up at all. Not sure if I just seen something like cloud in my left edge, to be honest, so that could be worth a drop as well. So it's all going to happen at once now, left and right and short and looks like I've got all the ducks again. Soon flock to me and I've put any bait in. That'll be on. Interesting. I was just debating getting a feeder out for the edge. It's a good sign over those 4 mils. Could catch some right units here. I mean, to be fair, the fish we've had out in the lake, they're units as well. Yeah. There's a fish down my right edge, I reckon. I can see the ducks are there, like churning it up a little bit, but I think there's a fish there because it looked coloured. The ducks didn't stick around long, like they don't really like the fish, I reckon. It's a good choice bringing that in though and going short. Don't waste any time. Didn't take long for it to come to that bait as well. It's time of day, isn't it? This is not as big. I haven't actually seen it yet, but it doesn't feel it. The nods and stuff it's doing. fair. He's a bit smaller than the other ones, but we'll have him. Right. Well, we've doubled the catch from last practice. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to mess around. I'm going to put some bait in again. As of last time you learned, you've got to feed them. So I'm going to drop some 4s and some micros, short again, bit ground bait as well. I'll drop this one in short then. Just over 45 minutes left. Now I've had the first bite short, like similar to last time. Looks like there's a few fish coming out short. I can see my mate Trev's got one. He's just had another one earlier. But we've got 4 carp. So initially we said 5, but with 45 minutes left now, it'd be great to get more than that. Keep my eye on the edges. If I can see anything, I was convinced. Oh, is that on? Something's on. It could be a skimmer, I think. Didn't take long. It's either a skimmer or it's a carp. I have no idea it's hooked. I think it's a bream. Big, some of these bream. Just got to nod them up, like nod their heads up. I'm going to look silly if this is a massive carp now. Which it can't be. What is it? What's it doing? This is weird. Oh, some big old slabs in there. It's a little carp. It's barely even fighting. Got him. He's not that little actually. Well, he went from a little skimmer into an 8-pound carp. Very weird, but got him in pretty quick, so get straight back out there, I reckon. Put him in that net. So there's my 5 target. I think I'd be silly if I didn't feed. Means that it works so quickly. So same again. Fours, micros, and a little bit of ground bait. Let's put some more ground bait in that bowl. It's running out. So I just fed that up again. Just going to under arm this short. Hopefully that works round again. Don't know how long that took last time, like a minute, 2 minutes. I'll keep an eye on the edges, but if you can tick over short, that'd be lovely. Oh, as I say that, there's definitely something just disturbed in that edge. Yeah, I can't see down the right side, but a cloud has just come up in that left side, so it all happens at once at the end. It's making the most of it. I've had 2 fish short, just had that liner. I think if you're going to get one short, it's going to be in less than 10 minutes, so give this like about 8 minutes or something. And really keep an eye on them edges. The thing is with the edges is they don't stick around. They come in, they eat a bit, then they come out. So you've got to be down there when you see one. Alright, I've got 20 minutes left. Amazingly, it's not gone round again short. Ducks are clearing out my margins. I think I'm going to refeed my margins. Refeed short, drop short, and then just keep an eye on the edge. Right, just fed again. As I said I would. Fed the left edge and a little bit short. I've only got 15 minutes left. It'd be nice to get one more carp. I'm surprised as well. Like, I think fish may have come in the edges, but the ducks are sort of getting in the way a bit now on the right hand side. So that any ones that did come in, I think I caught on the short line at the same time they were in the edge. So you sort of find that they only ever come to one spot at Larford as well. There's a big goose in my edge now as well. I'd say that right hand edge looks a bit of a write off. So might be down to the left if they're going to come in. Bloke on the left just hooked one short. So there's still a few about. So I think one more will be massive today. If I could finish with 6 carp. I said 5 from the start, but I think fish have been caught now, like on the ends and stuff, so if you could finish with 6, especially the stamp I've had today, it's been a good stamp, so 6 big lumps. I mean, it could give you like 70 odd pounds. I'm a bit gutted I've not had one out the edge. I love catching them out the edge on this lake. It's a proper unit, especially when you can tell there's one there as well. But I mean, I haven't actually been down the edge because I haven't seen one, but I've got just about 10 minutes left and I'm tempted. Ducks look like they're leaving that right edge alone now, and they've properly coloured it up now, so that might help. I mean, it's only going to be down there for 5 minutes. But 100% of fish came in. and I wasn't getting any signs short. Right, so that was it. Didn't manage one out the edge or short in the last, I think it was half an hour at least. That's a bit of a shame. So there was definitely fish coming short. For some, I think the ducks didn't really help, like messing around and that in the edges and colouring it up when you can't see if a fish is colouring it up or not. Strange that nothing else come back short after I had that liner and like nearly pulled the rod in. I've ended up with 5 carp. We said 5 at the start. I think 6 is going to be mega today. I reckon that further down there they've caught a few. Well, we'll get weighed in, packed up, and I'll find out. Right, so we're all weighed in. I've actually had 5 carp for £69, so a decent stamp considering one of them was about £6. And surprisingly, that's actually been enough to win the whole Specimen lake. So in the end, it was a great result. I think second was 54. It might have been 2 54s and a 52, so it's been quite close. I think that will default the qualifying thing anyway. But yeah, it's been an interesting one. Definitely learnt a bit more today. The short lines come into play today, whereas it didn't last time. Yeah, and then feeding out in the lake, it actually worked. So 4 mils worked really well compared to the corn and things that I fed last time. So that's definitely something to take into account. I've got one more practice match before the final as well. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the final. And yeah, in the end, it was a good day overall. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.